deserve respect!
Ted, shut up.
Fine.
In January of 2007, the CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, would announce the device that would change the world forever, the iPhone. Back then, the iPhone was truly revolutionary. There was no device like it. It was like a mini computer that you could have in your pocket. It was just so convenient and just awesome to own. But if you grew up with an iPhone or an iPad back in the early 2010s, then of course, you definitely played some mobile games. Now, while games on a phone wasn't anything new at the time, when it came to the iPhone, oh yeah, you definitely had at least a fair share of some mobile games that you either played back then or you still play now. Of course, I also played these mobile games when I was much younger, and looking back at them, while yes, they have shown their age, I think they have aged pretty well compared to newer mobile games that are just false advertising and full of scams. I think older mobile games have so much charm to them that it's hard to not forget about them. While these mobile games were coming out, they were extremely popular, and this gave companies the idea, hey, why not make an animated series based on the mobile games? And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to have a look back on these animated series and see if they are worth talking about again. Starting off with the first one that I grew up with, Angry Birds Toons. Now, when I was much younger, and I'm talking about like when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was a huge fan of Angry Birds, just like any other kid. I had the plushies, I had the games, all of them downloaded on my iPad. And wow, man, like I remember my birthday was just all Angry Bird themed, and I was gifted a DVD of the first season of Angry Birds Toons. And of course, I loved it. And looking back at it, I still think it's really good. I've always appreciated as to how accurate the show is when it comes to the games with not having the characters talk. But it's not like they need to, because the animation is already doing the work in terms of showing me who these characters are when it comes to their personalities. And I think it perfectly does that. And speaking of the animation, it is very good. The attention to details when it comes to the backgrounds and the character animations, when it comes to the facial expressions and the different designs that, while yes, are different from the games, I think still stay true to the original designs from the mobile games. And it is just so good. I think Angry Birds Toons is definitely worth looking back on. And while yes, I know there are other Angry Bird cartoons, this was the one that I grew up with the most, and it's going to be the only one that I'm going to talk about. But yes, I would highly recommend watching Angry Birds Toons. It is that good. Next up is Jetpack Joyride Shorts. Now, of course, Jetpack Joyride was one of my favorite mobile games, so of course, I would definitely watch this series. And unlike Angry Birds Toons, it does something much different, and that's basically breaking the fourth wall. Barry acknowledges that he's in an endless runner, and he's surprised that there is no level 2. And of course, there's Professor Brains, who is his arch nemesis. But the whole series is very much self-aware of what it is. It's a goofy comedy that knows its jokes when it comes to what it's adapting. So it's very much self-aware. There's also another character named Craig that Barry befriends, and he works as an employee at the factory. And he's probably one of the funniest characters in this show, if I'm being genuinely honest. But the series just kind of ended like abruptly, and then it came back when the second game came around. I didn't check that out, but honestly, I think the shorts are pretty fun. After this is Swampy's Underground Adventures, based on Where's My Water. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, these are kind of similar to the Angry Birds Toons, but they are way more simple than you think. They're very short, and there isn't really much to go off of. Everything is just very, very straight to the point. Like, all the personalities are straight to the point, and the episodes themselves are just, well, they're whatever. But I mean, like, it's okay, I get it. They're simple, they're nothing amazing. The animation is nothing amazing, it's just flash animation. but I think for what it is, it's alright. Not much to really talk about though. Next up is Clash of Rama, based on Clash of Clans, and I gotta say, this one is pretty funny, and it makes sense. This was written by a lot of the writers that worked on The Simpsons, and it definitely shows. It's accurate to the game, and I think this is how I would imagine these characters interacting with each other when it comes to a world like this. And it just goes to show that the writers truly did care about this show and its source material. So I would highly recommend watching this show because it's really good, especially if you're a fan of Clash of Clans or not. Anybody can enjoy this. Next up is Omnom Stories, based on Cut the Rope, and the first 2 seasons are animated very well. The first season is a live-action hybrid, and they're pretty adorable, just seeing Omnom in the real world, while the second season takes place with a time machine, with Omnom going through time traveling, and the first seasons are pretty good, but looking at what the show is now, it's just pure AI slop, just kid content slop that kids just binge on all day, and it's just, this is just not the same, man. Now, before I go on to the last animated series I talk about today, I am going to give an honorable mention to Happy Wheels, the series. Now, originally, I was going to put this in my video, but I think most people associate Happy Wheels as more of a PC game than a mobile game. I mean, yes, you can play Happy Wheels on your phone, but like I said before, this is mostly a PC game, and that's how most people played Happy Wheels, including myself. So I'll probably save this for its own video, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. Now let's talk about Subway Surfers, the animated series. Now, out of all of the series that I have talked about, I think this one might be the most interesting, at least for me, because I think this series is really, really good. I think the characters, when it comes to the personalities, is exactly how I would imagine them being when it comes to them being teens. I also enjoy the chemistry with the characters and the personalities. I think it's very well explored when it comes to this show. Too bad that the show only lasted 11 episodes. Now, why is this? Why did the show get canceled so quickly? Well, apparently it didn't get canceled. As a matter of fact, it was just put on hold. So you would probably think that they would continue with this series, but sadly, as of January of 2019, there has not been another episode made for the series. Now, while yes, I just mentioned that the show was put on hold, I don't think that's actually the reason why this show stopped. Now, this is just my personal theory, so don't believe me on this, but when the show was coming out on YouTube, I remember seeing ads of like Subway Surfer toys that were coming out. So I think that the series was made so that they could sell toys, and maybe the toys didn't sell that well. So maybe they just stopped the series because of that. I don't know. But do they at least acknowledge that the series existed or, ended off on a cliffhanger? Well, technically, yes. As a matter of fact, nearly a year ago, they just acknowledged that this series existed, which is just crazy to me. But honestly, looking back on the series, I think it's really good, and it's a shame that they just never made another episode. But oh well. At least I can say it was good and I did enjoy it. The animation and the characters are great. But anyways, to close off the video, those were my thoughts on these animated series based on mobile games. And I wonder if you guys recognized any of these animated series that you might have grown up with or never watched before. And if you did, what did you think about them? Let me know in the comments below. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe for more future content like this. With all that being said, I will see you all next time. Bye.